Alright, so welcome back. Hopefully all of you guys are having a fabulous day here today. Hopefully everybody's having a great time and everything associated. Today I wanted to remind you that one of the best banners of the year is coming relatively soon. In case you don't know what it is, a new poll draw is on the horizon for 70s GC, part of the 6.5 anniversary coming to global. With that being said, let's jump into it, break down what we will potentially be seeing and what this banner can consist of. Because let me tell you now, as every year stands, this will be a solid banner to wrap off Netmarble's earnings of the year and prove that GC is still a insane IP for them. Like and subscribe, it helps out a ton. Here we go. So last year, when this kicks up, just so you know, is around the middle of November. As this November stands, we're getting our first banner pretty early. No changes there. We are potentially seeing the vote banner go live as early as basically the 12th, 13th. Knowledge of it even earlier than that. It's going to be very, very different this time of year because, again, of how this collaboration, how things have been focused. We know that upcoming next week, we have our lead character we talked about. That is next week on the 5th, 6th. 1 week after that, it already starts the pre-Annie events because the anniversary starts the 20th. It's a very early time in the month, so it's going to begin just like that. When it comes to this, what we had last year was, again, very, very good. Last year, you finally saw the rerun of your January banner, which was Arthur, or February banner, which was Arthur. Took a while for him to see a rerun. This year, we do have a few characters that need reruns and such. You had Escanor over here, and you also had Meliodas, right? Those were the characters that were voted for or available to vote for. Pretty much, though, when it came to the vote, these are the characters that were, again, there. As you can see, if I can rewind it real quick here. So you had starting grade UR, you had Festival SSR, and normal SSR. We chose the top 3 starting grade URs, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, so the rated up unit itself plus the 3, and then beyond that, pretty much that's what was added afterwards. So in this case, what we had was starting grade UR. There was Sobnok there, who was the summer character. There was Escanor, who was the JP anniversary. There was Gother, who was that one weird spring anniversary. There was Arthur, who was the, again, February. And there was Melly, who was the previous year's unit. This year, we're going to probably see Belmael as one of them, right? Because he was there. Potentially, Demon King Zeldris could be voted for. King of Dian could definitely be voted for. Because again, now this year you had technically less festivals. Because remember, what were your festivals? You know, Fez banner over here. It then went into the next Fez banner being King and Dian. The next Fez banner, remember, because we didn't have that spring-ish thing. You had Demon King Zeldris, and then from Demon King Zeldris, it was Skuld. So Skuld can be voted for. So that literally just leaves you with Demon King Zeldris. That leaves you with King and Dian. That leaves you with Mael of Despair. And it leaves you with Elimeli. So that's potentially what your UR roster looks like. Then when it came to the SSR roster, it's just any festival SSR. It does not matter how it works. It's just any festival SSR. So again, since then, not really too much on that front has released. So depending on that, you can vote for whatever. Last year, we ended up voting for Hell, Demon King, Mael. And then I believe there was one more on the banner. So that was kind of how it worked. And then you vote for base roster, correct? Last year, again, we went pretty hard. We had Gulda, who was recently new. Everyone skipped these units here, so we voted for them. This was earlier in the year. You also had Christmas Rocks, which was also skipped. This was summertime, so there were, again, pretty decent units. When it came to, or when it comes to this year, how would it look would be a bit weird, because again, this year was like collab galore. So it could be Yorm that's voted for. Maya will obviously be there because of UR Festival. You will definitely see this as the vote. The thing is, I don't know what they consider these characters, because like this is like the first time you got this character sort of. And when you had last year's vote, you had this character. You didn't have that other Percy, so I don't know what they consider them. And if they do consider them like those crazy different characters, then you can't vote for them. But you should be able to vote for limited tier, because we did have like an entire section which was like just limited. So this was limited for the year. Move ahead. Pretty much King was also limited. So they did have a bunch of limited characters. These all were seasonals, right? So they did have a bunch of seasonal characters, not limited, limited separate. So that was there. So we definitely might see Tier on there. Tristan Kid, that was another limited draw. You might see that as well. King of DM we talked about. Pelgard, Varges as well. You had Freyr, right? That was, again, limited character. We should be able to see him, which would be pretty nice as well. I skipped him. A lot of players skipped him. Like, genuinely a lot of players skipped him. Meliodas Assault, might see him. Now, like, right here, it gets wonky, because we don't know about Gelda, because, again, she's that limited typing, right? She's weird. Like, there's... Well, they all are limited, so... because they're seasonals. I don't know what they consider those though. Like it's a different thing that they consider them because technically they're like a pseudo festival. So are they able to be voted for? I don't know. If they are able to be voted for, huge W, freaking huge W. If not though, definitely everything past like Easton. So Scolds you can't vote for. Loki you probably can't vote for. Because remember, he's the Halloween character. How they did it last year was, if you were to see it, when you go back to Halloween, so this was May, February, I think I went back too far. No, I didn't. So Melio's Demon King, I did go back too far. Ellie Melly, all right? When you had Ellie Melly, you had, in October, Esterosa Berserk, and I believe, right, you clearly couldn't vote for him to a degree. They always do it where these characters for Halloween aren't voted for. So again, when it comes to this banner, you didn't see Esterosa for that reason. When it came to even that festival, yeah, so even the next festival, you don't get it. So it depends, right, how they do things in this game if you are new or if you don't know. When it comes to the New Year's festival, the unit is the selling point. They don't give a damn. The unit is the selling point. So Melly Ellie is the selling point. They do not need to make this banner good because Melly Ellie is the reason it's good. You skip Melly Ellie, you saw how much pain it was for a very long time. They're PvE monsters, they're PvP monsters. That's always the case. New Year's is godsend. That's like kind of how the game is interpreted, and that's kind of how they did things. Perk Melly, God Melly, Melly Ellie. Always, forever, that is the Netmarble way. So that's how it goes. When it comes to this banner, they have to sell the unit. They have to sell Lancelot. They got to get your gems, so they make the banner enticing. And again, with what they had this year, with all these seasonals and all these skips, remember, just like, similarly like last year was more reruns. Similarly like last year, you are out of gems. Konosuba dented you. Soul Leveling beat you to death. Eminence probably destroyed you as well. You had collab after collab after collab. And especially this year, your gem economy wasn't that good because what ate out of the gem economy? The massive amounts of new collabs. It was pain. So because of all that logic and all that issues, what's going to happen? You're definitely going to potentially need to go for this banner to make up for the entire roster you missed this month or this year. Vice versa is also true. There is a collaboration active. So most of this doesn't matter to you. And I will stand by this. The collab is more important. Regardless of what this has to offer, regardless of any of this trash here, the more important thing is collaboration, especially with this this collab itself. Very fun characters. Your first ever goddess collab unit, whatever it was. Megumin is pretty fun. She has her mid here and there, but she is still pretty fun. Darkness is a super cool character, well designed, meme worthy, and everything. They're cool characters, and in the future, I wouldn't be shocked if some of them are final boss carries or crazy things in the future. Because you had Viol carry, whatever that mid collab was, you hated on it, but he carried for how long? You had Soul Leveling, how great they were still till today, and you also had Eminence, how great they are in that raid. So every collab unit has some sort of shine and pop off, and missing them sucks. So do what you will. Just wanted to warn you though, one of the best banners is coming soon. Now it's your turn. It's up to you on what you want to do. Simple as that. I'm just the messenger, and I'm just here to simply warn you.